My name is John Foster. I'm the agency administrator. I work for the Dubuque Metropolitan Area Solid Waste Agency. My primary responsibility is to take care of agency business, a lot of the long-term planning discussions, and as well represent the board on a day-to-day basis. This project right here is the Cell 9 Phase 3 landfill expansion project. Cell 9 began probably in 2010, if not a little bit before that. Again, it was a process that was cited because of the Cell 8 was filling up, and the board needed to figure out where we needed to put our next landfill cell at. Nice thing about expanding this cell right here, it provides us about 40 years of landfill capacity, which is called a permitted capacity. After we do all of the permitting through DNR, we got to make sure that we have to identify what the level of the groundwater is to make sure that we're not going to have any issues with groundwater coming up through the trash. Right now, the Phase 3 project is the third of 5 phases. This phase right here is a 10-acre cell phase that will last probably about 2 to 3 years. And a lot of it's just because of the design of the cell. Right now what we're trying to do is build a pyramid basically. So we need to make sure we get the base of that pyramid up, and once that base is done and we get slopes that are stable where we don't have trash falling down on people and dirt maintaining on the slopes, at that point what we can do is start raising the elevation up, and eventually we'll end up matching the same elevation that we're currently at right now.
Hello, my name is Bev Wagner. I'm the Education and Communication Coordinator for the Dubuque Metropolitan Area Solid Waste Agency. Our landfill expansion project that we're seeing today is important to the community in many different ways. It offers the opportunity to continue landfilling here and continues to operate the landfill in a manner that's protecting the groundwater.
The landfill is operated by the City of Dubuque under contract to the agency. So the agency pays the City of Dubuque for the operations of it. So all the employees out here are City of Dubuque employees. The property is owned by the Dubuque Metropolitan Area Solid Waste Agency, and the oversight of the operations as far as setting fees, planning projects, etc., comes under the auspices of that agency. And that's made up of 2 representatives of the Dubuque City Council and 1 representative of the Dubuque County Supervisors, which gives everybody voice in the management of that policy.
Every year we consider, do we want to have a landfill? And do we want to own that landfill? Do we want to, instead of a government-run project, should we make it private-run? Those are questions that we answer every year, and so far every year we feel it's best for our citizens that we actively pursue a government-run landfill. That's one of the options. The other options is, how big do we want this? How many options do we want to add to our landfill? We have a full-service landfill here. We don't just take what people throw away and dump it in the ground. There's so many good options. When you discard something, one option is to bury it in the ground. The other is, and hopefully the better option is, to reuse it, recycle it. So those are the type of things. How much recycling we should do, how many extras or accessory projects we should do with our basic landfill operation. And we've chosen to do the full service because we know that our Dubuque citizens like options, and they want to do things. They want to do more than just throw things away. They want to take their value in their discards and reuse and recycle them.
The main point of this project, again, is to protect groundwater. That's our main key right here. As a community we go through, there's a lot of waste that we still generate no matter how hard you try to reduce your waste, no matter how hard we try to recycle waste and other materials. There's still a waste that needs to be managed, and this is what this facility does. This is one of the opportunities that we provide is the final disposal, which is a landfill. And on this project we have a system of earthen layers as well as clay as well as man-made materials that try to provide a barrier between groundwater to prevent that from coming up into the trash and contaminating it, or from any kind of water that's in the trash that is escaping out of the landfill and entering into the groundwater.
The black liner that you see going down on the expansion project right now is actually the second to final layer of the entire liner system, and that is to protect, again, the groundwater, and the tire chips that'll be going over top of that layer will actually protect that plastic layer that's going down right now.
Well, this buys us some time. We generate a fair amount of solid waste in this region, and it has to go someplace, and it has to go someplace where it's correctly managed, and that's here. So our primary mission is protection of the public health. We want to make sure that everything that we're managing isn't creating a groundwater problem, isn't creating an air pollution problem, isn't creating a litter problem. And those issues are all addressed on site here with the expertise of the on-site staff to correctly seal the garbage in a hole where it can remain for many, many years.
So part of our requirements, we have wells that are situated outside the landfill. They're typically 50 feet with outside the waste border. And at that point, we'll sample those wells every 6 months. And then we run that through a gamut of tests that will tell us if there's any kind of contaminants that are inside the groundwater. We compare that to water that we know that's coming up, that's upstream from us. And that way we can verify, well, is it contaminants coming from us, or is it contaminants that are normally found in the background groundwater? Another contaminant that we tend to look at is the methane gas. As waste breaks down, it creates a gas as well as liquids. That gas, we currently right now, we collect that gas and we flare that. That was a voluntary decision that the agency had made to help reduce the area's greenhouse gas emissions.
Well, we're collecting we have sanitary sewer out here now, so we're able to get all the leachate, that's the liquid material that seeps to the bottom of the cells, and collect that and get it properly managed down the pipe. We're also mining the garbage for methane gas. Previously, methane would escape into the atmosphere. It's a much more potent greenhouse gas than carbon dioxide, so it's something you really need to manage. So we've got methane wells throughout the facility that are collecting and at this time flaring the excess methane into atmosphere. It's a much better environmental practice than just letting it seep. We're looking towards a beneficial use of that landfill gas that comes off this facility. We've got there's a local Dubuque manufacturer that builds the equipment to clean the gas, and we use some of that equipment on site to clean it to the point that it can be flared with environmental safety. With a couple of more steps, we could make it pipeline quality natural gas. We're looking at expanding our use of natural gas in our vehicle fleet, and a day could come where we're fueling the City of Dubuque's entire public works fleet, transit fleet, law enforcement fleet with a product that comes out of the ground as a byproduct of the deterioration of waste at the landfill. So that's pretty exciting stuff. Doing some similar things down at the Water and Resource Recovery Center, where we make a great deal of methane in the anaerobic digesters, and that methane is turning microturbine generators that is creating electricity that operates the facility, and we'll soon be putting excess natural gas into the pipeline system servicing the community. So we've got a real opportunity here to fuel some of our operations with some of that previously waste material.
Well, we take a lot of time and spend just the right amount of money to make sure that we have clean air and clean water in conjunction with our discards. So why this is really important is, it's very essential to have a good landfill. It's part of our sustainability here in Dubuque, and it's very important that we do it the right way. There's a lot of legal things we need to do. There's a lot of ecological, economic things. All of these things make for a very interesting and important area for for the Dubuque land to make sure that we have a good landfill, and we're doing everything we can to make a quality landfill for you.
Many people think that all we do here is bury garbage, and that's not true. We also have drop-off for many different kinds of recyclables and reuse options. We have drop-off for recycling shingles and tires, electronics, appliances. We also have a regional collection center for household hazardous materials, and there is no charge for folks to bring out their chemicals from their homes for that service, and we really want folks to do that rather than putting them into the garbage. We also have free drop-off for bicycles and small engines, so snow blowers, lawnmowers, those kinds of things. And so we do offer other opportunities rather than just putting garbage in the ground. This phase of the cell will start to be used as soon as they get the construction done. So hopefully before snow flies, we want to start putting in some trash, and it'll be what we call soft trash. It'll be household trash and not construction debris. The lifespan, as we see it right now, is approximately 20 years for the entire cell. There will be another 1 or 2 expansion projects as part of that cell.